Hello friends, you're with the Lonesome Gamer, and I'm playing 1846. Possibly, I'm pretty sure this is going to be the last video. All the companies have permanent trains, except for these guys, the Pennsylvania. They also will not purchase any more trains. They're going to buy one more train. And then we're basically in the end game and everybody's just trying to optimize their routes. And I'm not going to show that all in detail. So it can still go on. I think playing time, even if you play with others, might still be something like half an hour or maybe... I mean, it's always much longer if I play solo. But I guess at that point, yeah, the game won't go on that long anymore. So, we go into the first operating round again. I guess we'll see this set and one more set, and then the bank will be depleted. So, yeah, 5 companies, New York Central starts, and we're gonna see where this goes. So, the New York Central, they try to connect here. That was just a gentle curve. So they tried to build around that thing here and like that. And then they made a run of 600. They paid out fully and they made a triple jump. So they're now at 250. And now the B&O actually laid this tile here. So they made an upgrade and added this thing. And that really kind of basically makes a quick second east-west route impossible for the companies that don't own tokens in here, because this is now permanently blocked, because this one would be the one that they would need it. And yeah, they are both already used. So that is for a couple of players now a real problem, especially for the mainly for the New York Central, maybe also for the Penn. They would have loved to use something like that, but that's not going to work anymore. I don't know how to get around that. They possibly have to go south, but that will take a couple of tile lays. The New York Central has only one more option. Otherwise, they have to start to swallow half. And I'm not sure if it's worth it. They cannot use their full 7-8 train, sadly. They can only run that for 6 at the moment. And so kind of like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, and that's only 20, and then they got the 230s here. So that 7-8 train is not really performing well at all. There would be definitely potential for maybe 100 more bucks, but yeah, they can't do it. So we're seeing interesting stuff going on here. I found that tile. I don't know if I ever used that. So yeah, I made an upgrade of this one here actually, and now I got this one, which would technically allow me, if I could place a matching tile here, to go around this city. So the Penn, that's what the Penn did, and they are connected via Chicago with this tile. And then they're going to lay a token here, which is a huge blow for a lot of other players. So yeah, even for the Grand Trunk, this is a problem. But it gives the Penn a lot of options. And he's a 60% holder. The Penn wants to have a second train, and they can only use that second train if they have a strong token. So that could be helpful here. They could have considered to lay the token here too, which would have been less painful for the Grand Trunk. Maybe that is an option. But it's not quite sure that I'm going to be able to make this upgrade here. Interesting. Yeah, I think I actually want to leave that here. And the Grand Trunk has enough money to make an upgrade here. And then they are doing fine. They only have a single 6 train, and it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That would just work out. Okay, so the pen now runs a 6. They need a couple of bucks to buy a 7 or a 6, I'm not sure, but they want a second train, so they're going to need to do a half swallow. So the pen did an east-west run like that. They ran for, I think, 390. They swallow half, so they go up 1 space. 20 are paid out, 190 go into the company, and that will allow them to buy another 6 train. It's not going to be enough for, it's kind of close. They cannot afford a 7-8, but I think they don't need that at all. I'm not even sure if they could run a 7-8, even if they can make the connection now here. This is only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So it's not even 6 if they want that other run. So, yeah, we'll see. I guess they're quite happy with that train. So, and it's kind of impressive. Every company basically has 2 trains now, except for the Grand Trunk with a single 6. But all the others, are pretty strong. And, well, now we continue. Illinois Central and Grand Trunk are the last 2 operating companies. So the Illinois Central finally made the connection here from, I don't know, here to St. Louis. And now you don't have to go through Centralia anymore. And that gives them now an east-west run. Finally, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then they got to run here, 1, 2, and then they go like this, 3, 4, and they can go like this, 5. So one route goes like that and the other like this. And that brings them to 630. So that is a really impressive run. It is the strongest run, just as the B&O. Now what I find noteworthy is that it's interesting that they can do that massive run, although they only have a single east-west run, and they only have brown trains, right? They just have a 5 and a 4-6. So compared to what the others have, that's not too impressive. But they managed to really hit a couple of really good cities. But we might see now that there is this connection possible. Maybe we're going to see much stronger runs. Maybe we see a 70 run, or I don't know if we got to 80, but we'll see. Without the mail run, I think 80 is hard to do. So the Grand Trunk finally did the upgrade here. So now Sarnia is connected, and they can now make this east-west run, 1, 2, 3, kind of like that, 3, 4, 5, 6. And But that's all they can do. I mean, yeah, they can upgrade these tiles eventually, but then they're done, basically. Now, what's interesting about this, I mean, this is quite an investment. You got to do the mountains here and the tile action, so that was worth. So that cost them $60, but they only make 10 more bucks because now they don't go to here anymore. Instead, they go to here, and this is worth 20 less if you do an east-west run. And so they get 30 more for this, I think, Fort Huron or Port Huron, but they only get 20. Yeah, so that sucks. And they cannot even upgrade this to brown anymore because of the lake and the mountains here. So yeah, you cannot go there. So that wasn't that great. So they run for 380, and this is going to be their final run. They are not going to go for more. So we go into the next operating round, and it is now possible that we might see... there might be a few more upgrades. I thought maybe we already see now the final runs of the companies more and more, so that we can just fix them here and then just multiply it with 2 or something. But there's still a couple of companies that have money, like the Penn, the Illinois Central, the New York Central. So we might see some upgrades of cities. So yeah, I think there could be still some changes going on. So let's go into the New York Central's turn, and they're going to now make that super important connection pretty much with their last money. So they can get this one here and then upgrade this like that. And that is, for a couple of players, I think that could be interesting, at least for the Penn and for them, because that will give them a second east-west run. So the Penn and the New York Central, they both now have 2 east-west runs, one going to Chicago, through Chicago, basically like this, for example, or maybe even like, no, it has to be like that, and the other one goes through St. Louis all the way like this. Well, that's pretty strong. And again, the Illinois Central can pull that off with a 4, 6, and a 5. That's amazing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's insane. You know, if you look at that here, this whole section, I really love that. I love this about this game and about these route building games, these elaborated track lays. You don't have that in that many 18xx games, but this is definitely one of them where it happens from time to time. So, yeah, that's really pretty neat. So I was wrong before. Of course, not the Illinois Central is just operating, it's the New York Central. So they don't have the brown trains. It's they have a 7-8 and a 4-6. So, yeah, but it's kind of a similar thing. I mean, they also will run these routes, but they can score a few more cities, I guess. So here's an interesting situation for the New York Central. They have, basically, it seems they have the option to go twice through this area here. And the reason why they can, it makes more sense for them to do that because then they can run their 7-8 to a full extent. They can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And from St. Louis, they can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But here's what's interesting. They would use this track 2 times. However, I thought about, hey, that's that's okay. I can upgrade this to brown and then go out here. But I don't have the money for that. However, I can use my 7-8 train and run through Salamanca. I'm pretty sure now, not absolutely, but I'm pretty sure that Salamanca is now no longer blocked. Usually, if a company is not in play, it would be blocked. But the Erie was in play, and it is now removed from play. It closed. So I'm pretty sure that this is now, that everybody can run through this now. I'm going to check that again on the rules, but I think it is possible. Well, actually it doesn't say that. It doesn't say that the starting locations cannot be run through. So the reason why I think that could be the case is if a company is not in play, it is removed at the start from play, like the C&O for example, then the location is blocked. You basically take a token, flip it, and block the location. But in this situation, I think that's not the case. So I will run through Salamanca, which means I can go ones like this, and I can go ones like this, basically, right? And that means I can use this profitable area here, and I can use my 7-8 train to the full extent. So this is going to be a good run now. I'm curious how much is this going to be. So the New York Central runs for 730. Pretty good, not quite as much as I was hoping for, but it's only a 4-6, so you can only count 4 stations here, but still pretty good. It's not enough for a triple jump though. It's close, but it's not quite enough. And yeah, as I said, the really massive runs above 800 are possibly mainly an option if you have a mail run. Maybe the Penn with their 2-6 trains have a chance, but we'll see how much they make. So the B&O, they lost quite a bit of cash from the tile placement of the Penn here. They also would have had now their 2 east-west rounds, but now they can basically only go from here like this, and then they got an east-west route from down here all the way like that. You can take this. Now, I'm seriously thinking about doing a half swallow. I run for 580, okay? That would give me a double jump. But if I do a half swallow now, I would still go up 1 space. And then in the next turn, I will get the option to, I can make a connection here, I guess. I just have to check if this tile is still available. It would be this one here. There are actually 2. Yeah, that would work out. And then I would have also 2 east-west runs. And there's going to be 2 more operating rounds. Now the question is this worth it? I would probably make about $200 more if I just take a look at how much this guy makes, right? I mean, maybe not quite. I mean, maybe 150 more or something. So I got to do some calculations. If it's really hard to tell. In the end, there's probably no big difference in stock value that I will lose, because if I go, I could make a double jump to here, but from then on I would make only single jumps. On the other hand, if I now swallow half, I would make a single jump, but then I can maybe make even 2 double jumps. So that might be worth it. Maybe I actually will gain share value if I play that right. I mean, let's see. Let's say I would possibly end up making a double jump now and then 2 more, so I would end up at 345. And the other option would be to go here and then make 2 double jumps, which would bring me to 375. And, well, I mean, that sounds interesting, I think. That would be a difference of 30 per share. I'm sitting on 6, so that's $180. And I think this is actually worth it. Yeah, I think I want to do that. I think swallowing half now, and obviously I will make more money on the next 2 runs also. So I think in the end swallowing half now will pay off in the last 2 ORs. Okay, so the pen does pen things. They will lay a token here. They still have money and they're going to use that to screw everybody else over. And that's really bad news now. Yeah, that sucks for a couple of players now. I mean, maybe it's not that bad. The Illinois Central, yeah, they might get away with it if they, I think they are okay if they build here. So maybe that doesn't, I don't know. Do I want to do that or not? The Illinois Central still has close to $200, so they can easily lay track here and go through here. Oh, and this is no longer blocked, right? So yeah, that doesn't actually make a lot of sense. I thought it would be super dicky, but that's not the case now that Salamanca is open. Okay, so I just recounted the Illinois Central, and I'm pretty sure I made a mistake there. I don't know how they made 630. I can only assume I did 2 east-west runs with them, which they didn't have. I don't know how I messed this up. Now they run for 540. So they basically make 1 east-west run with a 4-6, 1, 2, and then 3, 4, 5. I mean, this is basically what they, yeah, that's their east-west run. And then they got a 5 train, they go 1, 2, then up here, 3, 4, 5. I wonder, 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe I can improve that if I go 1, 2. Oh, 1. Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. That will allow me to take the 70. I think that is a little bit better. So I'm going to recalculate that, but I think this is as good as it gets. And that means, because this was upgraded and that was upgraded, that they had 20 less before. Yeah, so that second route was actually 10 more, so it's 550, and that's what they run for. I can only assume that I somehow thought they can run through Chicago and gave them a second run, but I recounted it and it just doesn't work. I also thought maybe if they build track here, maybe they can, but they cannot make it through Centralia, or basically they have to go through Centralia, and that's not going to work. Their trains are not long enough. If they had a 6 train instead of a 5 train, they could do 2 east-west runs. But in this situation, I don't see that this is possible without the option to go through Chicago. So therefore, they run for 550, and I think they made 20 less last turn. So the Grand Trunk did an upgrade here, and that gives them a run of 390, and that is exactly a double jump here. It's exactly from 165 to 195, but then they will only make single steps from now on. And we go into the last stock round. There's about $1,000 left in the bank, only these 2 500s and $1,100, something like that, maybe 1,200. So yeah, we're gonna see 2 more ORs, and if the pen would not have bought another train and instead paid out, I guess the game would be over by now. And we also see a lot of track building, which also brings a bit of money into the bank. But still, yeah, we got 2 more ORs. Nobody is going to be interested in trading any shares during the stock round. The Grand Trunk is clearly the weakest company, and these are the only shares available. Everybody is at its certificate limit. So yeah, that's it. And we're going to go now in the last set of ORs. And most cities are already upgraded to brown. So there's 2 more gray cities there. So we might see some improvements on the routes, but not a lot anymore. Of course, the B&O wants to make that connection here. That's the important part for them. That will give them quite a boost. But apart from that, I don't think we're going to see many changes for the routes anymore. So the New York Central, so this is now the last cycle of ORs. The New York Central operated for 70-60. They have a good high share value, and they can do another double jump. Pretty good. Then the B&O, they're going to spend another $40 to upgrade this into this. So there we go. And then make a connection here. And that gives them now also 2 east-west runs. Now I could lay a token maybe I should do it. It doesn't hurt. I'm just not sure if I want to go here or there. So actually, yeah, I can do that. I think I'm going to lay a token down there. I got a lot of money simply left now, and I'm going to place that token here. And maybe in the last run, the New York Central and the Illinois Central might get some trouble here if the pen also spends a token, but I think they don't have the money anymore. No, they simply can't do it, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, and now I can make a good run, I guess. A 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I assume. And then 1, 2, 3. And now I'm going this way. And I'm going to be a little careful. Okay, 1, 2, 3. And then 4, 5, 6, like that. And the other one goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And here I can only count 4. So I gotta figure out a way that I get the most money out of it. But that shouldn't be so hard. But the important thing is that I have now basically 2 connections that go like this. One this way and the other one this way. So the B&O runs for 640 now. That's a good run, but it is significantly less than the New York Central with their 760. Still enough to make a double jump. So the Penn did upgrade Erie to 50, and they also ran 760. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the other one 1. Then they took Centralia. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 2 east-west runs, really strong. And of course, we even have a triple jump here. Wow, that's impressive. So I just did the last tile placement of the game. There's going to be no more upgrades because all the grays are gone and nobody has an option, as I don't see it, to improve the route. So Indianapolis was upgraded by the Illinois Central. They run for 5-8. They only have 1 east-west run. They run here from Chicago down here. And they have, that's a 5 train. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the other one is 1, 2, 3. What about this part? Wait a minute. Yeah, I gotta skip this city. That's actually true. 1. Yeah, but that's okay. 1, 2. Yeah, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the others go 1, 2, 3. Oh my goodness. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like this. Okay. And that is 58. So that's not quite as good as the others. It's still a double jump though. And it's gonna be another double jump. And I might as well do this and pay out these guys twice. So I'm gonna move them here. Remember that. And I just pay out double. And the Grand Trunk runs for 39. From here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 down there. And that's not too great. Gave them a double jump, but then only 1 single jump. Now I'm going to operate the first 3 companies again. So the New York Central, the B&O, and the Penn. And then I'm going to do my final calculations. Okay, somewhere I must have messed up last time with the B&O. This time they ran for 700. I calculated that twice. So 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5, 6. Just like, oh wait a minute, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Maybe I wasn't wrong. I'm pretty sure actually I was wrong. It's not possible that there was a mistake, that there was an improvement of 70 during the last turn. So I don't know, I think I will give them $5 per share or something like that. maybe even more. It should be probably 6. I'm not quite sure. I mean, there was the improvement here, but I think he hits it only once. 2, 3. Yeah, he hits it only once. So that means it's basically 10 less. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. So he should have 6 more. I marked 63. That can't be right. So I think he should have 6 more. I hope I just... it's also possible that I marked it, but that I didn't change the value and that I just didn't mark it. But I don't think so, actually. It kind of sucks now. I'm pretty sure they are... I'm going to give them more, and now they pay out 700. Okay, so... we're done. This is the share value here, the final value. And it's going to be close. If you can see here, in the money between these two, he's got 1,500 and then a lot of hundreds and a massive stack of 25s. This guy is in the same basically. He also has 1,500 and then a couple of hundreds and pretty much the same size. I mean, they seem to really have pretty much the same amount of cash. And this guy here also, in a way. So it's really close between these. Of course, this guy has the highest share value. So I assume at least the Illinois Central owner is out of the game because he does not have a share value that can compete with the other two. And this guy is, I don't know. He might not even be that far behind, but of course he has a serious problem when it comes to share value. These shares are just garbage. The pen managed to make a lot of cash, but yeah, these shares are not good. And by the way, we see here the runs once again. So the New York Central is a little bit ahead of the pen, and these guys 700. And then you can see a difference, of course, to the Illinois Central here, and a huge difference to the Grand Trunk. Okay, so let me do the final scoring. Okay, so the owner of the New York Central Railroad, he won. It's the best company, it made the most money, but it was close. 7,160. Then the B&O owner had 7,003. Illinois Central player with 6,721 and the Grand Trunk player with 6,455. Now what I find really remarkable is the fact that when it comes to cash, the first 3 players were super close together. So it's 2,958, 2,995 and 2,956. And even the last guy still had 2,730. So that is pretty uncommon that they're so close together. At least in most 18xx games. Maybe here it's more common. But it showed that in the end the share value were important and was the most important thing, you know. Maybe one more double jump or triple jump, who first made it over this barrier here, right? These kind of little things. So yeah, it was close. I think it was really interesting and beautiful map, I guess. Really like the way, you know, all this labyrinth-like track and all that. It's pretty elaborated stuff. I love that. Yeah. Okay. I think I want to do a short review video about this. Nothing big, but people seem to like these review videos, so I'm going to do one. And hope to see you then. Bye.